Help, I'm sinning and I don't know how to stop. Coming up next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. It's our new mug of the month. Jesus is God's selfie. How cool is that? And folks, this is available along with our coffee at Banger's Brew, the best kind, in decaf, ground, and whole bean, all right here. We are metal, we are family.com. Here's the question for today, dear Pastor Bob. How do you make yourself do things you don't want to do? I watch things on TV and listen to music that is sexual, but I just keep doing it. I don't know how to stop. You know, what we want to do and what we actually do are very different things sometimes. Paul says he had this problem. He says, what I want to do, I don't do. What I don't want to do, I end up doing. He says, who will save me from this wretched man that I am? And he goes, oh yeah, Jesus will. You know, I think whenever we go through these things, we just prove even more that we need him. But can we get better? Yes. You know, we have choices every single day of our lives. Choices to go one direction or another direction. And the choices we make are, well, they represent the foundations in my life that I've already plugged in. They represent how I fought the battle before the battle. You know, we've talked about that a lot. We have a mug on it, fight the battle before the battle. In other words, knowing that I have a problem in this area, and I rehearse what I'm going to do, and I make a plan before I get there, so that when I'm faced with that difficulty, I know what the plan is. But then there are the people that say, you know, I can watch anything I want. I can do this and I can do that, and it just doesn't affect me. I'm not affected by it. Yes, you are. You know, the one thing that it affects the most is our compassion, our deep love, and our connection with God. And we're so used to this slogan, you know, love the sinner, hate their sin, that we forget what it's really all about. And I hate that slogan, by the way, because we all sin differently, but we all sin. People just sin differently than I do. And if I'm saying I hate their sin, then I'm setting myself up as if I don't sin. But a better slogan, and I've said this to you before, I know, but is love the sinner, mourn the sin. Mourn the sin, like I should mourn my sin. Mourn theirs too. I want to turn today to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 6. And he says, blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous. Now, who doesn't want those things? Blessed, fortunate, happy, spiritually prosperous, in that state in which the born-again child of God enjoys his favor and his salvation. So this is what we're talking about. This place. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, uprightness, right standing with God, for they shall be completely satisfied. Now, this is the foundation for combating sin. You say, what does this have to do with sin? Well, folks, it depends upon where our mind's at. The Bible says to fix our minds. Remember, that was last month, fixing. I am fixing my eyes, fixing on Jesus Christ. Keep your eyes fixed on him, the author, the perfecter of your faith. And now we're going one step further, and we're saying, When I hunger and thirst for righteousness, instead of saying, oh, I can do all these things, it doesn't bother me, and it does bother you because it affects this. When I hunger and thirst for righteousness, I begin to mourn the sin, not just put up with it. I begin to feel God's sadness with all of that, and I begin to mourn it as well. So let me read this again. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous in that state in which the born-again child enjoys his favor and salvation. That state, that is such a great place to wake up in the morning and say, Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for my salvation. Thank you that I'm saved. I know who I am, and you know who I am, and you saved me anyway. Yeah. So that person, blessed, they're blessed. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness on that other track. Not just saying, well, I can put up with this and it's no big deal. It is a big deal. Not just saying, oops, I did it again. And there are those days. But a person who honestly, even though they blow it sometimes, hungers and thirsts for righteousness, that's where their focus is at. Uprightness, right standing with God, for they shall be completely satisfied. Don't you love that? And that's the key to getting through. Now, we're going to talk about this principle several times this month. I've got some things that I'm going to talk to you about that are a little difficult, but they're things that we need to move forward. And they're things that we need as we sharpen our relationship with God and as it becomes more intimate. And folks, God desires an intimate relationship with you. Into me see, into him see. Don't forget you are blessed. It said so right here. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous and all of those things, enjoying your favor and salvation, are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. You are blessed. So go and be a blessing.